All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Azizullo, and here with me today, Ansar Khangeldin, MSU GDSC leader,
Hello
and we will
everyone.
talk. We will talk about the how to win at Google Solution Challenge, and we will today focus on about judging criteria, and we will discuss some tips on how to succeed in this solution challenge. So my friend Ansar will start today's presentation.
Okay, let's start. I will tell you about impact criteria. So you can take next slide. Uh, what is solution challenge is all about? It is all about solving United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So you can see all the goals that United Nations have chosen to solve, and it is one of the most important parts when you starting your project. So you have to choose one of these problems, or maybe several problems if you want, and you have to think how you will solve it. Next slide. So let's talk about impact. Impact criteria gives you maximum 25 points. So you can see uh, the questions that you have to answer when you are trying to explain your solution and the problems that you have chosen. Does the entry establish a clear challenge using the there's problem statement? So uh, you have think and choose, as I said, several problems, and it must be uh, explained clear why and what problems do you solve. Do they explain clearly which United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and targets they chose? So, as I said, you have um, explain what exactly you do and how exactly you solve these problems. Feedback from users, testing and iteration. It is all about uh, how users interact with your app or with your project. So is this project user friendly, and is this project really important and useful? Uh, uh, First question is about again it is about your problem statement. So and the fifth question is about your next steps. So you have to think about your future extensions, your scaling, because it is, I think we can call it like a future startup, maybe. So you have to think about scaling your project that you will reach a larger audience and reach more and more people later after the solution challenge. So next slide. It is how you create a good problem statement. A good problem statement starts with your explanation of why this problem is significant. You have to explain urgency and priority of this problem. Uh, you have to uh, talk in simplest terms possible. You don't have to use very much complicated sentences. So you have clearly explain your impact to the community. Uh, Also, you have to analyze how big your problem is and tell size and scope of the problems that you are solving. So you you have to explain it in two, three, or maximum five, six sentences. Structuring your problem statement is also important. You can see the good structure on the right side. It is four questions. Who is experiencing the problem? What is the problem? Where and when is the problem occurring? Why is it a problem? And why is it important to address? So next slide. uh, there are some ways to choose a problem. It is more about my way to choose. So how do I generate ideas and analyze impact of my future project? Firstly, I try to think about big problems I often face myself in my life because I know what exactly disappoints me. So I will know how to solve it, and I will I would able to rate this project by myself. Firstly, so later I try to think about areas that I know about the most because I have some knowledge about existing problems. Like personally, my favorite area of startups is educational tech right now because I'm studying at the university, so I know what problems the students are facing. It's just like an example. And sometimes I start with some common problems people face around the world and try to narrow the focus to some more specific problem. Next slide. How to understand the scale and importance of your problem. You don't have to rush into choosing a problem. You have to take some time to understand how important the problem you have chosen is and how many people are facing it and how it is being solved at the moment. Because sometimes you can think that your problem is very important, but sometimes it finds out that it is not a really big problem. It just brought some discomfort in our lives, but it is not very necessary to solve at the moment. So we have bigger problems in the world. Try talking to people who have experienced this problem that you have chosen, and how much does the problem affect people's comfort. So it is more about the importance, significance, and urgency of your problem. Next slide. Also, you don't need to solve minor problems, as I said, that bring only minor discomfort. You have to think globally. But at the same time, there is no need to try to solve some global problems at once. They need to be addressed sequentially and step by step. So you don't have to choose like all the problems of water resources and try to solve it by yourself. It is very good, but it is not very mm, uh, I don't think if we can do it. So you don't have very much time because at the moment we have something more than 1 month to a deadline, if I'm not mistaken. So try to narrow your focus and choose important but specific problem. Next slide. Don't forget that you have to choose a problem that is included in SDG list. What topic is your issue related to? The issue you are raising may cover more than one of the topics in the list. Fortunately, the list of United Nations problems is quite extensive and practically doesn't limit you. Okay, next slide. And the last one, but not the least, do something you are really passionate about. And I think this is the best way to do something great is work on something you like. So thanks, Azizullo.
Thank you, Ansar. And let's let's continue about more on technological part. I will introduce some technological points which you will get for your project. So first one, does the team clearly describe the following: architecture, high-level components, responsibility of each component, specific products and platforms they implemented, and this is the main part. This job is main part of the CTO in startups, for example, the people who know more about the technology. So they have to focus on these specific questions, and this is for 5 points. And next one, does the solution implement all technical components needed to solve the challenge? In other words, are you using this technological thing in a right way to solve some problems in your project? And then code testing and iteration. Does the team highlight one challenge they faced while building their code, how they addressed the issue and the technical decisions and implementations they had to make. For example, you made some MVP, minimum viable product, and you have to test it. And once you test it, you will realize that there is something missing in your project or in your software. So you have to update it, and you have to make some iterations once to develop your project to before the submission. And does the video demonstration show the actual working application, not mockup, and how a user will interact with the solution? This is also one of the important thing. You have to make demonstration video, and you have to show the main part of your project, the aim of the project. What are you solving? And you have to show the solving process, how users are interacting. And you don't have to focus too much on different qualities, different aspects of your project. You have to make a clear understanding that users are using this application or you're using your software in order to solve the problem, and they are getting some takeaways from your product. And next one, can the solution in its current form or minor structural changes support more users and increased scale? In other words, is your project scalable and robust? Is it possible to, for example, if you are using your application with 5 people or 10 people or 100 people, is it possible to add some minor changes and support more than 1,000 or I don't know 10,000 of people? Okay, this was all about technological part, and let's have a look some tips to increase your chances of winning. First one, understand the problem. Before you start building your solution, make sure you have a strong understanding of the problem you are trying to solve. Take the time to research, analyze the problem from all angles. The more you understand the problem, the more effective your solution will be. Uh, in other words, you don't have to make you don't have to come up with the problem to suit your already taken idea or already defined product. You have to first uh, try to think about the problem and then make a solution. Keep it simple. Focus on creating a simple and effective solution that solves the problem at hand. Avoid adding unnecessary features or complexity that may distract from the core functionality of your product. The main fault that people always make while building new software or new product, that they are too distracted with adding new features, adding new functionalities, and trying to make a best product in once. But this is not this is very hard, and um, if you don't have large group of developers or large team, you better start with making it simple and starting with small steps. And then use Google technologies. Take advantage of various Google technologies and platforms that are available to you. Use Google Cloud, Firebase, Android, maybe Flutter, and other tools to create a robust and integrated solution that leverages the power of Google's ecosystem. For example, Flutter is the good technology to create MVPs in recently. For example, you have some idea that you are uh, trying to implement it as soon as possible as a mobile application. So what you can do is just find a person who knows Flutter, or you can also, if you know some Google technologies, use them wisely and try to create some robust application or project. And then user experience. This is also one of the important points to consider, because uh, when judges try to uh, try to evaluate your solutions they will use, and they have to navigate through your application. And user experience is the best thing that you can show the users and judges how you are solving the project in a very efficient and easy way, let's say. So user will just enter your application and now just instantly knows what to do and what's this application for. And show an impact. Demonstrate the potential impact of your solution by providing concrete examples of how it can solve the problem at scale. Use data, statistics, and testimonials to show the judges how your solution can make a real difference in people's life. You can show some, if you find the problem, you have to research about the impact of this problem to the society. For example, uh, students, let's say students have too many distractions and can't focus on the studies. So you have to find the solution for this problem. You have to make some research in the university, or I don't know, maybe high schools, and you have to find some good examples of this problem, and you have to make some statistics. And after you implement your solution, you have to show the statistics that which how many percent of this problem you are trying to solve with your project. And then follow the guidelines. Make sure you read and understand the rules and guidelines of the competition. Uh, Adhere the guidelines and submit your solution on time to avoid a disqualification. As always, you have to follow the guidelines. You have to read and be well known with the guidelines before entering to the solution challenge and before submitting your project. Make sure you will match and your solution will match all the with all the guidelines. And get feedback. Test your solution with potential users and gather feedback to improve its functionality and usability. Incorporate user feedback into your solution and iterate until you have a product that's ready for submission. As a previous example, you are trying to implement some solution for the students who are who are distracting too much, who are getting distracted by too much by the other things than their studies. So you propose some propose some solution, you made some MVP, and you have to go to the students and try to test your test your application or product, and then get feedback from them. And then you will realize if you are using if you are making good product, and you can get some feedback and try to make your product to another level, and this will improve your project to be selected for the future. And stay focused. Stay focused on the problem you are trying to solve and make sure your solution stays true to its original intent. Avoid getting sidetracked by the new ideas or features that may take away from the core functionality of your project. This is also same thing. You don't have to worry about adding many features that's not even operation. If you have kind of not ready product, or if you have some product that's uh, distracted many by other features than its core component, this is not a good product that you can show to the judges. So this was all for today's presentation. Thank you all, and we wish you to see in our upcoming meetings, and wish you all luck to the solution challenge. And I will give awards to the Ansar.
Okay, thanks. I want to say my last word. I would like to advise, but I can be wrong. Treat this project more like a startup, and it will help you be more focused. And this project is a good opportunity to learn something new. If you don't have many knowledge on the technologies, Google technologies, don't be scared to learn something new and try to implement it at the moment. And feel free to mm, choose big problems and try to solve it. So good luck, everyone. Uh, Thanks.
And thank you. As Ansar said, this is the best moment to test your abilities to form up a team and make your ideas come true. And you have still time before the submission. Try to be more efficient, and good luck, everyone, with the upcoming solution challenge. Thank you.